All right, what's up, guys? Man, how do I turn this off? Anyways, haven't been live in a while. Figured it's Friday. Want to hang out for a bit, say what's up, show you guys kind of what I've been up to in the background, and kind of go over some of these laser jigs that I've created and kind of what they do, how they work, why you should get this kit. So if you have any questions, feel free drop them in the chat. Or feel free to email me or head on over to the site or the Discord. I don't have anything linked just yet. This is kind of impromptu, but I may go back and put a link in there. If not, like I said, head over to the shop, which is benchymade.com, or feel free to head over to my site or the Discord. All that stuff's on the other videos as well. So I guess let's kind of get this shindig going. All right. So to start off, I guess what this is it's a quick change plate, I guess is what you can call it. I call it a benchy base. That's what it's labeled on the site. Feel free to check it out there. Let me fix my audio really quick. All right, there we go. So this is one of the very first prototypes I made. I just kind of test fit everything to it. The current version actually looks like this. It will come with red pegs. Those are red. The lights make it look pink, but it's red. As well as the back, you can see it's textured. So boom, this is what the plate actually looks like. I'm in the process of updating all of the pictures on the site, so that way they look the same. But for demo purposes today, we are going to be using this white one. All right, and so you can see I kind of already have the pegboard mounted, and what this is going to allow you to do is quickly center any of your Glock frames. Essentially, that's what this is for right now, are Glock frames. So this will allow you to quickly center any Glock frames to do any type of laser stippling, laser engraving, laser graphics, anything like that, as well as undercut triggers, double undercut triggers. We'll touch on that in just a couple minutes. But what this does is it's a base that you actually mount to your normal laser base. So your typical laser base will look like this. This will just kind of screw in to any of these holes on your normal build plate. And also, I guess the point of this would be all of these different jigs that we're going to kind of go over and I'll show you all have these pegs on the bottom, so that way they can quickly come in and come out, and that way you don't have to hard mount them to your actual plate and line them up every single time, because you have these crosshairs here that will actually help you line these up to get consistent and precise graphics or whatever you're doing with your laser on your frames. So we just line up, the laser right there to the dead center, or you can really pick any point on here as a reference point. But when I'm creating these jigs, I do use kind of this center point right here just as a center reference. So what's also cool about this is we offer a mounting kit or like a separate build plate kit. And so you may think, well, why would I want to hard mount this pegboard to my build surface when I can just hard mount just the jigs? And what's cool about that is if you mount this on the bottom, our mounting kit, we do offer a mounting kit, and so you can take any extra build plate. So if you have an extra build plate lying around, if you want to go buy one somewhere, we offer them on our site. But if you want to go buy them somewhere else, this will work with any standard build plate for your laser machine. You simply screw in these mounting fixture or fittings underneath, and then what that'll allow you to do is that will actually allow you, we got to line it up, so it'd be that hole right there without looking. Oh, cool, dude. Right on. That's really cool. What is it? Oh, thanks for drawing a picture of me.
You're welcome. It's with green paint.
Hold on one second, guys.
And white paper and a paper plate and marker.
Oh, right on, dude. That looks awesome.
Yeah, I made it all by myself.
Good job.
Thanks.
Have fun. All right, so your extra build plate, your solid build plate now mounts on here, and because it has that special mounting kit underneath, you can actually hard mount things to this if you want. And whenever you put this back on, though, that will also be in the same plate or in the same place every single time, just for consistency. And so, if you want to kind of see like a side view of kind of how it looks, you can see they're locked into the mounting screws that mount the benchy base to your actual standard base. So you can kind of see there and then there. So then, and this is very simple. You just simply pull it up and it comes off, or you can pop it right back down and it pops right back on. So that's the mounting kit. I highly recommend getting one of those mounting kits or adding it to, if you're going to get any type of these jigs, also get that mounting kit because you never know when you're going to need it. And the pegboard doesn't come with any screws or anything. So it's literally just the pegboard. So you might as well add on the mounting kit. That way you do get these extra 4 screws and the spacers that are in here, and then the extra screws for this and the mounting for that. So you don't have to use them, but it's always good just to have them just in case you want to use them. Okay, so moving on to the next one, we are going to take a look at, yeah, you can just set it there. That's fine. We will take a look at, I guess, the 2 most popular jigs, and then we'll get out into some of our other newer stuff. So, actually, you know what? I lied. I already have one mounted. So we're gonna actually take a look at this one right here. So this is actually gonna be our undercut jig. And this does quite a few different things that I'll get into in just a second. It comes in 2 different forms. So you'll see right here, it does say double. And then we also have this one right here, and this one says single. So what that means is simply that these are for slim frames. So your 43s, 43x's, any single stack Glock frame will be for the single jig, and then the double will be for the standard size frame. So any of the double stack frames you'll want this double jig. So this is cool for quite a few things. So one, this jig here is meant to be used not only with your laser stippling, but with your mill as well. So if you have a mill that you use to do your undercuts or any work on the trigger guard or anything, this will work with that. So all these different angles here are meant to clip into very small vices. So if you only have like a 3-inch vise or a mini vise for your mill, these will fit perfectly in that and they won't bottom out. So each one of these different wings that you see here actually help the frame sit at a different angle, so that way you can attack it differently with your mill, just depending on your style, on your client's style. It just gives you options. And what this will also allow you to do is get that consistent angle every single time. So no more fiddling with your vise or anything like that, trying to line it up. Oh, I got to get out the digital leveler or whatever. No more doing that. You can just line it up and use all of these lines as multiple different reference points to get the angle of attack you want here. And then furthermore, so not only will these help you index and properly get the angle that you want for here, but now if you're going to do this part of the trigger guard here, we do have this angle. So you just pop this right in your vise and you'll get that consistent angle, that flat angle right here along the bottom of the trigger guard every single time. Again, no more having to get out the digital leveler or what eyeballing it. If you want that consistent, precise work done every time, this will help you get there. So now here's something that's also pretty cool that this also does. So not only is it, like I said, compatible with the mill, but if you'll notice, when it's combined together, it'll also be compatible with the benchy base. And so what we're going to do with that would be, let's say that you did something on the bottom of the trigger guard, or you want to use your laser to do textures or put a design or something on the bottom of the trigger guard here. Well, you simply just line it up. And let's see if we can get it to reference where we want. Boom. So as you can see, if I scoot it over, the more closer I get, but nonetheless, it lines up pretty close to the middle there. And so this will lock it into place and allow you to create your laser files. So that way, you can just put them right here in this little rectangle or whatever graphics you want to do there. Furthermore, if you want to do custom serial numbers, custom serial number fonts, or any type of other work, you can also just slide it down a peg or two. So if we go to, let's say, I don't know, right there, you can now put the frame right there, and now that's going to allow you to do any type of designs or textures or cuts down under here too. So, and again, you can reference it and line it up because you calibrated your laser right down here. So you know that that's where your laser is going to be, and that's going to be your center point. So as you're lining this stuff up, you'll see, okay, boom, I know my center point's going to be right there, and I can, go an inch or two this way and an inch or two that way. So that's what this jig is for, just precise, consistent, double undercuts, single undercuts, whatever you want to do here, whatever you want to do here. That would be the undercut jig. So like I said, we have that in both double stack and single stack options. And then, you know what? Also, so we are a no nuts company. So I do not believe in nuts, like extra nuts that are just bulky that kind of come off the frame. It wouldn't work with this because, as you see, one of our securement points are actually along the line that's going to be in your vise. And so if you look, I don't have any protruding nuts that are going to get lost or that are going to be bulky in the way or anything like that. These are actually set in threaded inserts. So the only thing that potentially could get lost if the frame was separated would be the other half, or would be one of these 3 screws that are in here. And so the frame is also secure in there. I try to touch the frame as little as possible. So you'll notice, like back here, this doesn't touch. It's just there for like a guidance. It doesn't touch the frame at all. The only parts that are actually touching the frame are right in here, along the slide area, and then what secures it is right through the pinhole right here. So if you wanted to unsecure it, you could simply just take your little key, thread it out, and it'll come out. See, these gloves make it fun to kind of come out. There we go. See, so that comes out, and your frame comes right on out. So now you have your frame, you got your jig, and then just so that way you don't lose any of your screws, you could always just pop it right back through. And then remember, this is, a plastic or a polymer. So, you don't really want to over tighten things. I did try to put some safeguards in here as far as like, making the sides of the jigs touch there. So you can't really over tighten it. Well, I mean, you could, but I tried to make it as difficult to break or to over tighten as possible, just by kind of putting, all these frames able to sandwich together as kind of like a security stop. But if you wrench on it hard enough, it will strip out. Just know you don't need to do that. And these are plastic. So just like you would, with anything. So now we have our frame. Cool. So we did our undercuts, did all that. That's cool. That's good to go. Let's go to one of our more popular sellers, which is here. This is going to be called our A-frame. And this is sweet. So this will actually help you do some cool stuff. So let's just take a look at what it can do. First of all, if you want to add some textures or graphics to your backstrap here, this will allow you to do it. So you simply just take your frame. Again, it uses that same pinhole right here, and then you're just going to slide it on through. And so if we want our backstrap, let's do this. We want it to go through that one. So we want to line it up right against that flap there, and then we'll push it through. And now this is also compatible with our benchy base. What's cool about this jig is if you don't have the base, and let's say you don't want the system, let's say you only want this jig just to do your back straps and the other things I'm going to show you, it also has mounting points on the jig, so you can use it with the standard build plate. So this, you don't by any means have to have the benchy base. It's just awesome, and it will help you a lot with your workflow. So and to get that precise, again, the precision that you need. So this will work with a standard base plate. If you want to hard mount it in, or mount it or unmount it every time, feel free to do that. So now that we got our frame on our jig, we can go ahead and line it up. However we want to do it. We can move it down a couple pegs. We can line it up. We can see that, hey, you know what? It's lined up perfectly there, and it's going to hit right about there. and then that'll allow you to do your laser work and set your files accordingly right there. So cool, you got that done. um, let's see what else we can do. So we got that, and now what we want to do is, let's say we want to do where our finger grooves are, we want to put some kind of stipple or outline or kind of graphics there. You can definitely do that. You just turn the frame around a little bit, go right back through those same holes. And now this time, instead of being on the inside, you want to be on the outside of the other flap right there. So you're just going to push it against the back wall. That'll be a reference point. It's going to lay there. This will work with any generation Glock frame as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever you have, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Anyways, it'll work with all generation Glock frames as of now. So, but now what this will allow you to do is that made this completely flat. So now you can do your finger groove area over here, and then same thing. You can just line it up, and then as soon as it clicks in, we don't want it on that one. Probably that one there. We'll line it up pretty darn good. Or, if you want to go on the other side, you can also line it up on this side as well, like that. So it's very interchangeable. You can use whatever side you're comfortable with. Like, let's say you have a fume extractor over here. Well, you can slide it over this way and move it, go that route there. And that's also cool with the base. If you use the benchy base, you'll notice that it has these slider areas here, which will help you mount the plate to your base as well, depending on, where you need it and where you want the center of your laser to be. So cool. So we did our back strap, our front strap, or our finger groove area. Now, how this is revolutionary, this does differ so many ways than all of the other ones that are out there. What this does that none of the other ones will do is, let's say that now at the front of the trigger guard, you want to put some kind of stipple or graphic or outline or something, maybe to match what you just did under here, but now you want to continue up there. Well, instead of freehanding it, you just slide it out just a little bit, just till to the end of the post there. And now your frame goes back and it'll rest against this post here. But what that does is that allows that section, the front section of the trigger guard, to be completely flat. So then you just go right back to your pegboard. You probably want to jump over a couple other pegs and line it up so that way it looks like that, or so you could see it better. We could probably just go this way, and that would be pretty darn close to center. I know the camera doesn't look like that, so we can even come down a peg there, and that looks even a little bit better to center. So like you can see, if I move it right under the lens, you can see that line right there splits the Glock frame right in half. And then you can see this line right here probably touches towards the top a little bit, but it's pretty darn close. So I think it's fantastic. This is one of our best sellers here. It actually flies off the shelf, and it's great. Got great reviews on it. Also, this jig is a little bit customizable, so there is space up here. If you're a social influencer or you want a company logo or whatever you want, we can normally put it right here for you. So that way, if you are going to put any videos on Instagram, on X, or on any type of social media platform, you can definitely do that and have your company logo there, or your personal brand logo. Same with color scheme. We can do different colors as well. So I know we just did one where we made this piece here red and we made the bottom red. So if you want a different color scheme, we can do color schemes. We also have different patterns available for the bottom if you want a cool different pattern. That's all on the site. So again, this is the A-frame. And now we've looked at, so we have our frame, we did the undercut, we did the trigger guard, we did the front strap, the back strap. I think it's time now we do the side panels, or like the grip panels. So here's another revolutionary frame or a revolutionary jig out there that's going to help accomplish this. This is called the Pi jig. It also has some mounting spots right here that you can mount to your standard build plate, so you don't have to use it again with the benchy base. Although if you turn it over on the back, it is compatible with the benchy base, and it's fantastic. They were meant to be used together. And now this is way different than anything out on the market. So out on the market, you'll see a couple basic designs. And this has just been redesigned from the ground up. So while the shape may look kind of similar, but better in my opinion, what we've done here is this is one jig to rule all the Glocks. So you don't need a different jig to do the slim frames or to do the shorter frames versus the larger frames. You don't need to use shims. I know a lot of people need to use shims right here, or they stuff like business cards in to fill in the gap that's there from the full size versus the 43 size, because the rails, there's a height difference from the top of the rails, and so it just doesn't sit against these top backstops properly when you transition from a full frame to a small frame. So I mean, you can get kind of close, but this whole system wasn't made to get kind of close. This whole system was made to get repeatable, fantastic designs and work completed. So and also speed up your workflow. So what's cool and different about this is actually spring loaded. So as you can see, that center peg will actually move. And what it does is that allows you to use any type of size frame that you want on this jig. And what it's going to do is it's going to suck it back up against those the backstops. So that way you get that consistent distance every single time, depending on what size frame you're using. And so you don't need to have different jigs. You can use just this one jig to do what I'm about to show you. So how this works is you're just going to simply push the pin down a little bit. You're going to line up. We're going to use that same pinhole that we've been using this whole time. You're going to put your frame right on the side, and you're going to let it go. And you're going to see that there's no space between either of these backstops. So now you know, okay, cool. This frame has indexed this jig, A, how it's supposed to, and B, how all the other frames are going to index this jig. So now I know my files from my laser are going to line up exactly where they need to be. And so there's no like, you can't hear it. It doesn't shimmy. I just put it by the mic. You can't hear it. It's stuck against there pretty good. And if you wanted to release it, you just push the button. Look, there's just barely enough space, but you can see it moves, so it's loose. Okay, cool. So we got our this is a full size. So this is a G17 Gen 3, just for reference in case you guys want to know. But so we got our frame on here, and now let's say we want to do this side strap over here. So what we can do is we can just line it up, and boom, that one's there. So we could actually even put it up one if we wanted to, and so we can do that. We could even go over one if we, however we want to line our files up. However we centered our laser and calibrated it that way is how you're going to be able to do that. So boom, it's lined up, it's good to go. And I actually want to show you something that's actually really cool that is on not only this jig here, but also on the A-frame, which is if you put the frame on, or if you put the jigs on the benchy base before you actually put your frame on the jig, what's cool is I've included these little sight holes here. So as you're looking down, you can actually see right where it needs to be to line up. So that way it's a lot easier to mount itself to the board here. So you can always, pick it up, move it, and you just look through the hole and boom, it'll find its home right away. And so then that way you'll notice sometimes, like, let's do the other side now. So we're going to just pop this guy in, go right through the pinhole. Now the holes are blocked somewhat, but there is one hole down on the side down here that you'll be able to see in reference. So like, let's see if I can get it to where you can see it. So boom, you can almost kind of see it right there. You see that? You can see the peg right there, and it clicked into place. So now it's not going anywhere. And again, you can, like I said, this locks it in so you can reference it. So yeah, so you just want to look. I mean, you can slide it around. That's part of the fun, honestly. But wherever you want to put it, it'll just kind of snap itself in and then lock in. So yep, that is the pie jig. And again, if you want, similar to the A-frame, the back can come in any type of design that we offer, as well as if you would like a logo, it might be a little small here. There's not enough real estate, or there's not the same amount of real estate on these pie jigs as there was on the A-frame. As you can see, it's a little bit less. So sometimes we're able to put a logo there, but sometimes we're not. But we can do different color schemes. So, if you want a different color scheme on the inside here, we can make this a different color for you. If you want these back plates or the backstops to be a different color, we can, however you want your color scheme, we can make your color scheme for you. So that way the overall theme of your brand will still match. So, okay, cool. So let's say, have we completed this customer's frame? So we did the undercut, we did the trigger guard, we did the back strap, we did the finger grooves or the front strap, we just did the side panels or the grip panels. Um, what's the place? So we also forgot gas pedal. So we also now have a gas pedal jig out. It's this guy right here, and similar to our undercut jig, gas pedal, you'll notice a theme here. It offers multiple angles of attack, so that way you're not locked into um, eyeballing the angle that you want to cut your gas pedal at, or not being able to make a consistent line or cut, and not having to take other jigs and try to line them up here and then try to draw on it with a pencil or something. And no, 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 we don't play that game. So what this jig does, it's awesome. So it's going to kind of go right over your front rail. I'll probably do it this way so that way you guys can see a little bit better. But you'll know, so it goes right over your front rail. You can kind of push down here or however you want to do it. But you'll notice that there is a screw, so you can tighten it on. So once we get this tight, again, it's plastic. You don't want to over tighten it. I probably should have tightened it up a little bit just to make this go quicker, but let's show you how it works. Okay, cool. So now it's getting tight. Let's do just a smidge more. There we go. Cool. So you'll see this locks in not only on the rail, so it holds your frame there, but it also has some cool extra features here to lock in the trigger guard as well. So it's not going to go anywhere side to side. And this is meant to work with a mill. So again, just like the undercut jig, if you have a mini mill or anything like that to help you attack this, you just line these little cool edges up, and that'll put your frame at a different angle. So that way that'll determine I guess the slope or the slant here of your gas pedal. And so then you just run the mill back and forth, or run the frame back and forth under your mill, and get it as deep as you want it. And you're able to produce consistent results every single time. So when you advertise, hey, this is my gas pedal, like every single customer is going to get the same gas pedal. Well, based off of what angle you choose. And let's say that a customer really likes it, or a client really likes it, and they're like, hey, man, that gas pedal felt fantastic in my hands. I really liked it. That's the perfect angle. Can you make me another one? Now you don't have to worry about, like I said, drawing it with a pencil or being able to reproduce that, because you'll have this jig and you'll be able to easily reproduce it. When you get it back out to the client, they're going to be like, oh man, this one is the same. How'd you do it? This one's identical. This is great. So yeah, so this holds your frame. Again, it's in there really good. And so then to get it to release, we're just gonna loosen it up a smidge, and you can either loosen it up to where it'll pop out straight, or you can just slide it off however you want to do it. But what's cool about this is it holds the frame tight and it won't ruin. Let's say that the customer got this or you got it Cerakoted, or you Cerakoted it before you did all of your work and all of your cuts and stuff. This jig here will not ruin any Cerakote that has already been applied to the frame, or really anything. It's soft. It'll grip softly and it releases softly. And it leaves no marring, no anything. No, you can't even tell this was on there. So I think that completes all of the jigs that we have currently available. And so this is for double stack frames right now. I haven't had a whole lot of demand for single stack frames. So if you do gas pedals on 43s or single stacks and you want one of these for a single stack, shoot me an email or hit me up on Discord or wherever you can find me. Comment on this video, whatever you want to do, and I'll make you a 43 one. But as of right now, this one is only for double stacks. So yeah, cool. Those are all the products. If you have any questions, feel free. I don't know if the chat's working or not, but feel free to put them in chat or hit me up on Discord. So I guess just as a recap really quickly, undercuts, trigger guards, back strap, front of trigger guard, side panels or grip panels, and then trigger guard. So I will put a code, or actually, you know what? I'm not going to put a code. If you want any of this stuff, I will add a coupon code to the store on benchymade.com, which is BENCHYMADE. So benchymade.com. Just type in free ship, FREESHIP, and I'll give you free shipping through New Year's, is what I'll put the coupon on for as soon as I'm done broadcasting here. So yeah, that's the jigs. If you have any questions, again, let me know. How you guys doing? Happy Friday. Happy Friday. I know this isn't my typical live, but I figured, you know what, I've gotten a lot of questions about this stuff lately, so might as well just do a quick live and see if anybody had any questions that you guys wanted answered to right now. And see what you guys are doing. So let me see here. I don't think the comments may or may not be working, but whatever. Cool. All right. Well, that'll wrap it up. I'm just going to end it now because we've already been going for quite some time. So I hope you guys have a great weekend. Thank you.